It's your girl Misha.
It's your boy Nord.
And we're the M&N family, so why you so loud? Anyways.
I'm excited about this video. Bump that. This is strong, this advice on a strong relationship.
No, let me do it. Because I was supposed to be reading it anyway. Advice for strong relationships from Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, man.
So, I'm kind of interested in this one as I am in all our videos that we do. Mm-hmm. This one in particular, we need strong advice.
Oh, this one here is the sauce that I've been trying to find, So yeah, this video I'm kind of into this video. So
how you get into it when you ain't even seen?
Well, I want to get into it. Stop her from coming at me. Like, what's wrong with y'all? This is why we need the advice.
Okay, let's get right into it before I have to knock it upside your head.
Strange. So what advice can you give to people who are looking to have a strong and meaningful and lasting relationship with someone?
Well, the first thing is to decide if that is really what you want.
Is that fair, do you think, to say, I want to be single forever? Do you think that's realistic or fair assessment of oneself?
I think that's, for most people, a pathway to insanity.
Yeah.
The psychoanalysts used to think that, and we all think this way in some ways, that you're sane because you're well put together. Your psyche is well structured, right? It's internal, somehow inside your head. Mm. And there's some truth in that, but here's a more accurate viewpoint, I think. You outsource most of your sanity because it's too complicated. And so what you do is your parents raise you to be vaguely acceptable to other people. And then you're surrounded by other people your whole life. And then every time you go off the rails a little bit, even just a little bit, people signal to you. Like, you make a joke, it's not that funny, and people don't laugh. And you think, oh, well, I should probably rethink my sense of humor a little bit or pay more attention. Or you tell a rambling story and you notice that everyone's like lost in the distance. And so if you're civilized enough so that people don't shun you, and you have people around you, then they're going to be always telling you how to not be too insane. Mm. Well, if you're alone, you drift.
Right.
You drift,
right.
And you'll drift in the direction of your biggest weakness. Mm. And so, there are some people, maybe they're introverted and disagreeable. They're not cut out for a lot of social contact. But we're social animals, man, right to the core.
Sure.
And it's a suboptimal solution for the vast majority of people. Mm-hmm. I think that people are having a harder time finding, like, let's call them more permanent relationships, is because it's become increasingly easy to have fleeting, casual sexual relationships. I mean, Tinder is a revolution, right? It's a revolution in sexual behavior, and it's certainly not obvious that it's
Is it a social thing? Is it just technology? Is this what people want to be doing? Because you think...
I disagree. I disagree that it's just a tangible or...
Tinder?
Yes.
See it?
Where do we meet?
Not on Tinder.
Where did we meet? And it wasn't a sex thing.
It wasn't a sex thing, but it also was like, wherever your mind's at, you feel me? But now, mostly 100%, about 98% is sexual. I mean, I'm being honest with you. It's most definitely.
Let me get this advice from this man if I have to knock you down.
It's easier.
Yeah. Want to be doing.
Is
it a social thing? Is it just technology? Is this what people want to be doing? Because you think the fleeting,
easier,
yeah,
in some ways,
but the technology has enabled this fleeting sexual. activity.
Definitely,
okay,
definitely, and that's. But we don't want to underestimate how radical a technology that is. That's especially for men.
I do feel that deep down that all these people, men and women alike, are always longing for something more meaningful.
Well, I think that that's generally the case. I mean, part of the reason for a relationship is sexual contact, obviously. Mm-hmm. Well, that's that you don't necessarily need a relationship for that, but that's not the reason to be with someone. The reason to be with someone, when there's a lot of them. So one is, kids who have two parents do far better, period. The data on that is crystal clear. It doesn't mean that there aren't many single parents who struggle to do a wonderful job. Yeah. That's not the same thing. It's an average issue. So plus, it's a lot of work to have kids. You kind of need to divide up the labor, especially in the first year or two, because the woman is completely overwhelmed in the first year, and she needs somebody around to take care of her while she's taking care of the kid, fundamentally, or at least that's the way it looks to me. So there's that. You need the stable basis for children, and it takes them a long time to mature, and they need to learn that relationships are trustworthy, right? Mm. So there's utility and stability there. But then also, you kind of want to tangle your life together with someone, because you have someone it's like two ropes that are tangled together. It's stronger, especially during times of weakness. And you have two brains instead of one, and that actually turns out to be really helpful when things are complicated. And it builds a solidity into your life and a reality into your life to have someone who's along with you on this very long voyage. And so I think that deepens your life in a way that isn't really possible with fragmentary relationships as a single person.
Definitely.
And then there's more to it than that. It's like, I think of wrestling. There's this scene in the Old Testament where Jacob wrestles with an angel. He's wrestling with God, actually, which is quite an interesting. That's what Israel means, right? Wrestling with God. Mm. Yeah, that just blew me away when I learned it. It's so
is that true?
The true people of Israel are those who wrestle with God.
Huh.
It's not believe exactly. It's a whole different thing, man. It's a whole different thing.
Isn't it like fear from God? What it means? That's what I thought.
Well, it did from the work I did in the last couple of months looking at this, and I looked into it quite deeply. It does mean wrestling, essentially, and it does derive from that scene in the Old Testament where Jacob wrestles with God. That's when he gets the name Israel. And his hip is dislocated, right? Permanently. He has a permanent limp after that. It's no joke. But I think of marriage the same way. Like people think, well, they lived happily ever after. It's like, that's not what you want in a marriage.
Yeah.
You want someone to contend with, because you learn through that wrestling, like you learn where you're an idiot and where you should stop being and vice versa. Yeah. So that's the spiritual aspect of marriage. It's the fact that you have to contend with someone under all sorts of circumstances, theoretically is what would you say? It's a manner of promoting psychological, or you could say...
I'm going to pause it right there. I know as far as our relationship, when I was a single parent, I only had one child. But when I got with him, we had two kids, our youngest ones. I would say doing it by myself is a lot harder than having someone. It would be like, because I know when you go out and hang with your guys, I feel like a whole single parent. It is a lot harder being by yourself, trying to manage all 4 kids. Well, when our other son is here, 4 kids.
Not to cut you off, because I don't like doing that, but to me, when she's gone, I have discipline put in place. So whatever she go through when I'm gone, I'm pretty sure I don't go through that. Because I'm dad, I'm more firm, and I'm going to get you. You know what I'm saying? So when she's gone, it's always smooth. For me, it's not shit on where you at, what you doing, running crazy.
The reason why it's smooth, ladies, you can agree with me. He's on his phone. The kids are upstairs. Diapers are sagging. House is towed up. So, yeah, they're chilling.
Not always true.
They're chilling.
No, it's not.
They're chilling.
I'm just more of a firm dad.
Like, I get home and
fine.
They need changing.
Fine.
He's still on his phone. Oh, they're fine. They're fine. They're not making no noise. That's a problem when they're not making any noises. They're doing something totally.
Oh, I got one that don't make noise. To be real with you. So my boy, my youngest boy, my 3-year-old, he don't make noise like that. He's in his room. He's playing with his stuff. He don't really come out of his room. You know what I'm saying? My daughter, she wonders. She getting so much stuff. I got a hyperactive one. You know what I'm saying? He jumps around and roll and twirl. And I got a 10-year-old. He's just becoming a teenager. You know, it's always, you know.
Now I see why I gave my parents a hard time, because my 10-year-old has a very smart mouth. But I really like this advice for strong relationships, because, you know, it kind of helps.
So we're not going to do Israel. We're not going to tussle with God. You know, we want God to lead us and guide us.
Well, let's work on getting married first. You know, I ain't gonna say, okay, let's go.
Spiritual growth, and it's genuine. You know, that's why marriage is a sacrament in most human communities, right? It's stamped both by the state and by the sacred authorities, because it's not just a physiological union. That's what animals do. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with the physiological union, but it has to be placed in the context of everything else a human being is. And I do think it's dreadful for people not to have that. And
do you think it's become harder for people to have meaningful, lasting relationships, or has it always been this hard? I feel like I thank God that I'm not dating now, because I feel like it seems like it's miserable out there right now.
Well, it's
to
hard
try to meet people.
It is hard although, you know, it's easier to meet people because there's more ways of meeting them.
Right.
But the ways of meeting them are more shallow. Mm-hmm. In my clinical practice, I would say that the rise of the internet dating option has actually overall been good for people who are looking for a partner. Now, there is some speculation and some evidence that it lowers the transaction price of separation and divorce. You know, because one of the reasons.
Would you say dating is miserable? No, because I know we're dating right now. So, would you say dating is miserable?
For one, we ain't dating. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your definition of dating is, but it ain't yours. I can tell you that. For two, what do you mean what we're a couple? You know what I'm saying? But you know, guys, like, seriously, the dating scene is trash nowadays, man. Like, it's just hard to explain it, man. People just out to get what they can out of you, man. Hey, if you don't buy by this rule, I can hop on the internet and get me another internet girl. You know what I'm saying?
Hop on the internet.
So, bro, get off me, bro.
Okay. But I understand what you're saying, though.
Yeah, man.
It is a lot different. It is more shallow than it has, you know, ever been. If you was to meet somebody else,
people don't know how to go out and meet people no more. You know what I'm saying?
It's not how traditional it used to be. Everybody, like, that traditional meeting, like, cause me and you, we met online. It wasn't like we meet in public and hey, how you doing? Let me get you in there and stuff like that. No, it was way different. It's been way different. It's more shallow than ever, though.
Yeah, it's not the same, though. It's honestly, like, you know, a lot of guys see a girl that they like, and they won't say nothing to her, but they'll find her on Facebook or any other social media,
and rather
jump in her inbox.
That's crazy.
You know, I mean, inbox you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, just like you gotta get your phone number out now. What's your Instagram? What's your Facebook?
That's crazy.
What's
because
Snapchat?
I had one person come up to me when I started my new job. Remember I told you? He was like, "What's your Instagram?" And I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
What do you want my
It's
Instagram?
just
What do you?"
just today's world, man. I want to finish hearing what this guy got to say, man.
Since you don't separate or you don't get divorced, is like, well, you're going to find someone else. And if it's easier to find someone else, then perhaps you're more tempted to sever the relationship. So maybe you lose in one place where you gain in the other. But I think there are different kinds of hard that it is. It's hard for couples to figure out how to manage 2 careers. It's hard for women to figure out how to get educated and get their career launched at the same time that they're finding a partner and having kids. Because women have this tight time frame, they've got to get a lot done by the time they're mid-30s for sure. And so it's not much time, it's like 15 years really from the time you're an adult. You better get at it. It's not very long.
Right.
So I think there are new challenges that have arisen that weren't there for previous generations. But previous generations had it hard in other ways.
That's very true, yeah. Like dying
they
at
died.
50.
Yeah. Or in childbirth, for example.
I feel like people also need to understand how to make a relationship work. It's not just magic. You need to kind of put in the work to make it work.
It's hard.
You need to put in effort and compromise a lot of times on. If you live by yourself, you can do everything the way you would want.
Yeah.
If you live with someone else, then there's compromises to make.
Yes.
But in the long picture, it's better for you.
Well, that's it. That's it. There's sacrifices to be made in the short term.
Yeah.
And people have to. The effort issue is when you're in love with someone, you're going to organize your schedule and make them a priority. And, that's in some ways a fleeting state, although it's not necessarily as fleeting as people think it is, but whatever. It's obviously a priority. And then you get married and, you kind of get accustomed to having each other around, and then everything else is more important and the relationship drifts to the bottom. And then people get dissatisfied and they start looking for excitement and adventure otherwise. Well, you can't do that. You have to prioritize the relationship. My observation clinically has been for a couple to maintain their relationship without it deteriorating, they have to spend 90 minutes a week together talking about their lives, about how the house is run, about what they've all been doing to keep their stories caught up, right?
That's not really even that much.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not that much.
Yeah.
But which is a good thing. You can actually do it. And then they need to spend at least one time having a date. And 2 is better. 1 is necessary. 2 is better. You can't aim for a lot more than that because, life is very busy. And if it's going to be sustainable, it has to be realistic. But they need to make time for each other twice a week and talk in a non-romantic way, just practically about the domestic economy and about everything that's going on. And that keeps people tied to each other and updated. And so that's sort of your minimal commitment level if you don't want things to deteriorate.
Still playing. Oh, this is a trailer. Okay. That trailer that was coming on was The Woman King. I gotta look at that.
I 100% agree with him on that. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much everything he said. It is important, guys, man. If y'all is in a relationship and y'all has the relationship part has to sell off because I get it, jobs, kids, roles you got to do to keep everything kind of in order, for stuff don't get out of hand. So you can't also lose sight of your relationship, man. And a lot of people don't understand, hey, let me wake up and, okay, I need to do this better, or I got to do this, make date plans and, do a lot of other things, let's go on a date, let us just sit down and talk, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times that happens in a relationship, man, and people get mad and want to find happiness elsewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this other person gonna make me happy because he take me out on dates and he do this here, but also he don't got kids from you, he don't live with you for one, he ain't gotta worry about make sure you eat as well as he's eating. You know what I'm saying? It's just that stuff right there. So, you just want to pay attention to your significant other, whether it's your spouse or just a girlfriend or boyfriend. Right. You want to, if you really do truly love them, you want to take the time out to, like the young lady said, you want to compromise. You want to make sure that, y'all come to a conclusion where, y'all can agree on a lot of things, because I know he might like this,
I'm not like that, and that was one of the things I can share. When we first started dating, there was a lot of things that I didn't like that he did. There was a lot of things he didn't like that I do. You know, I liked my temperature at a certain temp. He liked it really cold, so we had to compromise. And I feel like it's really cold, but
Get your heat or something, you know what I'm saying? But I also, you got to be, you know what I'm saying, knowledgeable of her. She like to be warm, so, you know, it's okay.
Like, he likes mixing his clean and dirty, and I had to, when we stayed together, I had to separate his dirty and clean because he had it all in one basket. And I was like, well, how do you know what's clean and dirty? And he said, sniff test. Me, I don't do sniff tests.
Chill.
I don't do
Lie.
You did say that. I don't do sniff tests. I'm going to wash everything. And, oh, yeah, and another thing, I had no white clothes. None. So, you know, you learn a lot from your relationships, your new and your old relationships. Just take the time out to compromise and talking to, just like they said, not much of what we do, but we're still working on it because of our busy schedules. This is about the only downtime that we really get, you know, outside of having the kids 24/7. So, yeah.
So we try to make date plans, man, but it's kind of hard if you got kids, you know.
We haven't been on a date in like
so.
3 years.
Well, wow, man. It's kind of crazy, man, but I mean.
And it's hard because, like, just because we haven't been on dates and everything, and we haven't been able to just, not anything sexual, just been able to talk about anything, you know, figure out what we like together. We had babies right away, and, you know, it's been hard, you know. So we've been making our way, thanks to, you know, my parents. They're very supportive, and his is too.
Yeah. I mean, mine can be better. I'm gonna be honest with you, but
I was just trying to be nice.
Hush. But you know, guys, you know, rather you feel like you're not getting nothing in your relationship and you want to go find somebody else, 9 times out of 10, that person, you're not gonna like what he or she got going on.
What do you do?
And if you do, that's totally fine. But the flaws may be way worse than what you had. You know what I'm saying? And you might like, whoa, you know, I cannot deal with this at all. So, you know, not saying don't be scared to start over or whatever, man. But if anything, if you're going to do that, at least love yourself first. Give yourself a while to be, you know what I'm saying?
And that's another thing I had to learn coming out of a relationship and meeting this young, handsome black man right here. Black man right here. I had to learn myself. I had to love myself.
Yeah, she had love.
Learn to love myself because I was damaged, and I had he was 2 at the time. He was 2 or 3 at the time.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I wasn't a perfect guy. You know what I'm saying? I entertained
other
women. I entertained other women, you know, at the time.
Okay. But
you will freaking stop doing that.
Okay. But yeah, we taught each other a lot being in a relationship, and it has been a long, loving, interesting journey.
It's still some tread on this tire. That's all I can say. It's still some tread on this tire.
It's not like tire's flat. What's going on?
It's not bald. You know,
Mine's
there's
bald.
no wire hanging out of it. So that's always a good sign. You know,
mine's when I turn on the car. So
that's your actual car. That's
okay.
not your relationship car. So anyways,
you gonna speak for me?
Yeah, I am. You know, guys, shit, we not perfect. You know, So y'all not perfect, you know. Understand that for one. You know what I'm saying? Counseling, you know, I recommend it. You know what I'm saying? I've been hunting for it for a while. So if you're a counselor, comment down in the comments, please. Let me give you a call and I want to come see y'all. You know, but you know, it's all about working through it, fighting through it, man. Everything he said on that video, man, you really do got to find somebody that you can have kind of pretty much more bad days than good days with. So to me, honestly,
No,
like,
I want mine to be leveled out.
right? I mean,
I
you
want to
can,
cuss
you
you out
can.
and then say I love you next.
I see me. I'm different. I ain't gonna just let her
Is that
come
toxic?
roll. I'm not gonna.
Is that toxic?
You know, I ain't gonna let her roll with that. You know what I'm saying? And that is toxic.
we gotta.
You know, guys, stand y'all ground. You know, a lot of guys that sit down and be around and say things that they, oh, I'm gonna do this, and don't do it. Start doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because some people, they'll be like, I'll take you on a road trip and never take you. You be like 35 years old and still ain't been nowhere but home and work. And so take your girl out. Don't just sit there and give her a fantasy because she got it at 9 years old. She about, huh?
You got fantasy in that?
Huh?
What's going
No,
on
I
in her
said,
life?
don't sell her a fantasy dream.
Oh,
Telling her
okay.
that you're going to take her to Disney World, but instead she's still at home.
I mean, guys, if y'all, you know us, man, we got financial clock we run off of, man. So a lot of guys play catch up, man. That clock be ticking.
Please.
So you trying to catch up?
Comment, guys, because this guy keeps trying to relate every guy to.
It's just every guy that's married in a relationship. We all got the same way at some point. Like, some way we all got the same way. You know what I'm saying? So we not finna just let them know you're a girl. Come on, girl. Let me go buy you some steaks. And I'm like, no, you ain't finna buy my girl no steak. You know what I'm saying? What you mean?
I don't know.
Shut your mouth. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? Like, she, like, you better help her. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, we masculine men, so that's what we do. So.
I feel myself as a masculine woman,
and that's where you wrong at. That's why you have problems. That's why you have major problems. You know, but guys, anyways, guys, not even being joking. Seriously, man, if y'all can work that thing out, man, and fight through that thing, man, and see if it's a turnaround. Like, if y'all done been over this 30 million times, I mean, maybe it's not gonna work out. You know, I'm sorry, but you know, try counseling, you know, just from my experience, cause woo. I'm talking about rough. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all, look at my hair.
You start giving advice and you
look at my hair.
Degrading advice.
I'm not degrading y'all. I'm just saying, as men, we know how women is. Y'all know how women is. Some women are worse, but some are.
We gonna end that video
and...
because my daughter is going through my beautiful wallet.
Oh, she's sliding them credit cards up under this door.
So that's the end of this video.
Hey guys, man, but always try to work that thing out. Seriously, try to work it out, man. If y'all can do it. But until the next video.
We appreciate you guys so much. Wait.
Oh, you don't want to pee? Okay.
Okay, now I'm ready. We appreciate you guys so much. Until the next video. Peace.